Shocking. Alberta's prosperity blocked and China military training info hidden for 4 years. Canada is currently embroiled in a series of political controversies that are raising eyebrows across the nation. One of the most pressing issues involves a 4-year-old access to information request by Rebel News concerning the training of Chinese troops alongside Canadian soldiers. This request has been met with significant delays from the federal government, which is now questioning whether the request should be dropped altogether. Critics argue that this delay not only violates access to information laws but may also be an attempt to obscure details regarding past military cooperation with China, raising serious concerns about transparency and accountability. As the political climate heats up, recent polling data from Abacus reveals a tight race between the Liberal Party, led by Prime Minister Mark Carney, and the Conservative Party, headed by Pierre Poilievre. Both parties are hovering around 40% in voter support, indicating a highly competitive election environment. The New Democratic Party, NDP, has seen a slight increase to 8%, while the Green Party has also gained some traction. This competitive landscape highlights the shifting dynamics in Canadian politics, where every vote will count in the upcoming election. Canadians' primary concerns include the cost of living and the economy, with issues related to Chinese election interference ranking surprisingly low at just 2%. This data underscores the immediate priorities of voters, who are more focused on their day-to-day financial challenges rather than geopolitical issues. When asked which party is best equipped to handle key issues, respondents generally favored the Conservatives, particularly on economic management and public safety, reflecting a desire for strong leadership amid uncertain times. Mark Carney's leadership is under scrutiny as his approval ratings have improved to 49%. However, critics point out that he has yet to take significant action on pressing issues, such as the rising cost of living and the housing crisis. His ability to connect with voters and address their concerns will be pivotal as the election approaches. In contrast, the Conservatives are perceived as more capable on most policy matters, particularly in economic management and public safety, which could sway undecided voters. The NDP faces challenges, especially in British Columbia, where its future remains uncertain. The party has struggled to maintain its foothold in the province, and potential leadership candidates, such as Rachel Notley and MP Heather McPherson, are being discussed as possible figures who could help the party regain lost support. Their leadership could be crucial in revitalizing the party's image and addressing the concerns of their base, especially in the face of rising competition from both the Liberals and Conservatives. Federal MP Stephen McKinnon recently addressed the Liberal government's priorities, but faced criticism for sidestepping direct questions, particularly regarding the Sustainable Development Technology Canada (SDTC) funding controversy. Allegations have surfaced that hundreds of millions in taxpayer dollars have been allocated to companies with ties to the Liberal Party, raising concerns about accountability and transparency. This situation has created a narrative of distrust towards the government, which could impact voter sentiment in the upcoming election. In response to these controversies, the government is focusing on an income tax cut and discussing emissions caps as part of its economic strategy. However, discussions about repealing environmental legislation, such as Bill C-69, remain vague, leaving many questions unanswered. The lack of clarity on these critical issues may frustrate constituents who are looking for concrete solutions to pressing problems, further complicating the Liberal Party's position in the eyes of voters. The issue of Canadian Armed Forces cooperation with China has sparked significant debate, particularly in light of the ongoing tensions surrounding international relations. Documents suggest that past military training exercises with the People's Liberation Army occurred, leading to public outcry and demands for transparency. Rebel News has sought detailed information regarding the number of troops involved and associated costs, but Global Affairs Canada has yet to provide a comprehensive response. This lack of transparency could undermine public trust in the government and its handling of sensitive international partnerships. In Toronto, protests have erupted over various issues, including a recent blockade at a major food terminal in Ontario, which some argue threatens the food supply. While peaceful protest is a legal right, critics contend that blocking infrastructure is not acceptable and should be addressed by law enforcement. The balance between the right to protest and the need for public safety is a contentious issue that the government must navigate carefully. At the Western Premiers Conference, BC Premier David Eby emphasized the need for provincial cooperation for economic growth, but rejected proposals to revive certain energy projects. This highlights the ongoing tension between economic development and environmental priorities, as some provinces push for expansion while others prioritize sustainability. The divergence in priorities among provinces reflects the complexities of Canada's federal structure and the challenges in achieving a unified approach to economic policy. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly has drawn comparisons between current opportunities to attract international talent and the Vietnam War era, suggesting that Canada has a unique moment to enhance its global standing. However, some have questioned the effectiveness of her statements and the government's broader competency in managing both international and domestic challenges. This criticism underscores the difficulties the government faces in projecting a coherent and effective foreign policy amid growing global competition. The political landscape is further complicated by the ongoing discussions around national security. The RCMP recently reported a staggering 488% increase in terrorism-related charges over the past year, warning of ongoing threats. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has cited this data to argue for stricter border and security measures, positioning his party as the defender of public safety. This issue resonates with many Canadians who are increasingly concerned about safety in their communities. As the election approaches, the actions and decisions of leaders like Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre will significantly shape the future of the nation. With public trust in government institutions wavering, both leaders must work to reassure voters that they can effectively address the pressing issues facing Canada. The ongoing controversies surrounding military cooperation with China and the handling of public protests will undoubtedly influence voter sentiment as Canadians head to the polls. The discourse surrounding Alberta's economic prospects is also crucial. The province has been grappling with challenges related to its energy sector, and many residents are eager for effective leadership to navigate these issues. As the election nears, candidates will need to articulate clear and actionable plans to support Alberta's prosperity while balancing environmental concerns.